Okay, so we're here to do the 2 top trees for the dragon egg. And we're going to do, so we've already done Asaya, and then we've flipped Yetzirah, and then we're gonna do briah, and then we're gonna flip atziluth. Okay, so they're DNAs that are twisting. So if you look at any of the graphics on my website on the Malkuth Pearls page on the original, I will create a page for the trees and the colors. I will create that. I will put a link under this video on the website, but for now it's on the Malkuth Pearls page on the general one. And that's for the first 4 worlds. The colors are not written down yet, but I will have them written down. But you can also find them online somewhere. But I will write them down. I need slavas. I need people that know how to do graphic design to come and help me produce this whole class for the whole planet. So whenever you're ready to show up, that would be awesome. What else do I need? That's it. What did you say? Exeter? Mm-hmm. And find people? Yeah. Well, I am attracting students and people right now. And there are a number of people reaching out and like asking how to help. And I go, learn these 2 programs, learn Photoshop and learn Illustrator. The next will be, if you're living in London, to come and help. So if you're in London, and then I can teach you, and I'll start teaching you how to do service, then you can come and help me physically. Okay, that's it for now. There are a number of other things on my list, but we will start from there. The next, so we're going to start with we've done Asaya, and we're going to do, and we did Yetzirah, but we did it reversed. And then we're going to do, and these are the 3D trees, right? And then we're going to do briah. I'm sorry if my brain's a little slow. Mother Andromeda, the lanky alien gray galaxy spirit guide, came through and started doing really high magic with me at Hyde Park to start creating sacred space. So my brain is a little fuzzy right now. All right, ready, Archangel Kamiel in training? Okay, so briah is rather easy for me because my brain is so programmed to do it. So our physical body is in the Asaya category. Our next higher self up is now in the Yetzirah category. And then the next higher self on top of that is in the briah category, in the briah world. So we imagine that those initial 2 trees are done because we've done them. And we move into briah. So Malkuth begins at the throat of that middle higher self, at the feet of your higher self number 2, because the feet are standing on the shoulders again. So fill that up with black tar, thick black tar, olive green, and russet, and citrine. I'm gonna give people a few minutes or a few moments, even though you're super quick. I know. Yeah, thank you. He's trying to cooperate with your guys' speed. Okay, the next is the sacral chakra of that higher self number 2 to be filled with purple or violet purple. Now, the front of the right hip and the back of the left hip filled with orange. That would be Hod. The sacral is Yesod. And then we have the green at the back left and the front, I'm sorry, in the back of the right and the front left. Now, from Malkuth at the feet and plug into the hips, we're going to pull on the pants. And then from Malkuth at the feet into Yesod, the purple sphere at the sacral, we do the wire to connect. We call that pulling up the zipper. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Now, from Yesod to the hips, we put on the underwear, like Superman. Underwear on top of the pants. And then from the green to the orange, to the green, to the orange, to the green, going clockwise, we put on the belt. Hod to Netzach, to Hod to Netzach. And take a deep breath. All right, from the hips to the heart, and we put a yellow sphere at the heart, and that is Tiferet. So if you want to fill up the heart first, that is good. And then we do from the hips to the heart. And then we do from the sacral, the purple sphere, Yesod, into the heart. Tiferet. Mm-hmm. Okay, now we do the shoulders. The front right Gebra. The back left, Gebra. The front left, Hesed. The back of the right, Hesed. Front right is red, Gebra is red. The back of the left is red. The back of the right is blue. The front of the right is blue. So make sure those are filled. Remember, this is on your higher self number 2. Now, from the heart to the shoulders, plug in the wires and root them in to the spheres. I like to see little metal brackets inside the spheres that the cords and plug into and then latch onto and then grow like vines into trees. How like neurons wire together and then they gel and then they solidify. I call it astral gelling, healing your broken DNA. Yeah. Joe Dispenza has a little bit on this, not a lot. So from the hips now to the shoulders, plug those in. This is the suspenders. Sometimes I do the necklace and before I do the suspenders, and sometimes I just do the suspenders before I do the necklace. So the red spheres plug into the orange spheres, and the blue spheres plug into the green spheres. And then we do the necklace, blue to red to blue to red, back to blue, going clockwise. And then we have the throat chakra. Okay, so at the throat is dot. Now in briah, it's lilac. It's the color lilac. And we're lacking in lies. So make sure that that Okay, so now from the shoulders to dot, so plug into the throat. Mm-hmm. No, I'm not asleep. Just getting a download. All right. Then we have Bina, the black sphere. It's different than the Malkuth black. It's pearlescent purple black. So front of the right, back of the left. It's very different than the Malkuth black. It's space black instead of earth black. And then Hokmah, which is silvery gray with a little bit of pearl added to it. So front left, back right. I like to see them that they're just sitting above the shoulders and not actually just at the temples. It's the energy embodying the space around the head. All right. Then we go from the throat to the temples. And then we go from the heart to the temples. Then we go from the heart to the throat, and the throat to the crown. So put the crown on top, and that's brilliant white. From the temples to the crown, and make sure that it also plugs in to your third eye and wraps into the pituitary and the pineal, and then goes through the crown. And remember, it's of that second higher self, but you might still feel it in your this self. And make sure those wires claw up through the crown. Also make sure the shoulders are plugged into the temples. And I think we've got those wires all set up. Make sure the halo is built, going clockwise, black to gray to black to gray, Bina to Hokmah, Bina to Hokmah. And then I think all of those wires are set up, and then send them through the crown to climb and find a higher tree and more pearls that it latches onto and it yanks it down. If it yanks it down and brings it into your physical body, that's a good thing. It's more integration, okay? Now, let's make sure that the vertebrae are good so that those wires claw through the spine of your secondary higher self, not your secondary, your higher self number 2. So we do from the brain stem, go down into the cervical vertebrae. We have 7. You can count them off yourself. Then the thoracic, You can do the 12 or the 14. 14 is for those alien people. Okay, through the etheric body. And then we have the lumbar. Here we have 5. And then we have the sacrum bone, which has another 5 bones. And we have the coccyx, which has another 4 bones. And then we braid it down past the coccyx through the tail. It's in the etheric body, all the way to the head of higher self number 1. So it should have it's one good spine. Clean. Now, if you want to send it all the way down to your physical body, that's a good sign. Higher self alignment. Send it into the spine of your physical body. My physical body is like, I'm resisting this. It might be hard. Try to get it into the spine and through every vertebrae. Feeling Jesus show up going, I don't know how to do anything. Jesus, bright white light sitting in my apartment now. Home. That should be an empty cup. Okay. All right. Okay, it's going through my butt. It's like popping the air bubbles in my butt. Okay. I'm trying to get it to plug into my spine where I can feel it physically in my physical body before we begin the next. Get that energy to move. I got to pet baby swans today. With Mother Andromeda coming through my body, she had me vibing at the speed of a baby swan, so I could actually resonate with them. And I got them to come to me, and I got to pet them, all 4 of them, without feeding them. No, I didn't bring them into my house, no. But I did get to pet every one of them. All right. Okay. So that's briah. I'm trying to make sure it goes through my tail of my physical body. It's obviously the etheric tail of my asaya body. Until I have a physical tail. All right. Air bubbles out. Good. I feel comfortable in my own body. Next, we're going to do the atziluth tree, but we're going to do it reversed. So if you look at it on the website, it goes Hod and Gebra and Bina on the right, in the front right. But this time we're going to do Netzach, Hesed, and Hokmah on the front right because it's a twist. Okay? Now, this will be higher self number 3. So you have a third self standing on another's shoulders, okay? Standing on higher self number 2. Standing on the shoulders of higher self number 2. And at Malkuth is at the throat chakra of higher self number 2. So that will be yellow, bright yellow. Different than Tiferet, it's bright, brilliant yellow. And then, let's get the actual names. Then we have Yesod at the sacral of higher self number 3, and that is indigo. Okay. So then we have Hod, which is going to be at the front left and back of the right. And that's going to be violet purple. And then we have Netzach, and that's going to be at the front of the right and the back of the left. And that's going to be amber. Okay, so then we put on the pants. So from Malkuth, the yellow sphere, we're going to plug into Hod and Netzach at the hips. And then we're going to put on the underwear from Yesod into the hips. So from indigo to the amber and violet purple. And then we're going to do the zipper. So from yellow to the indigo. So from Malkuth to Yesod. And then we're going to do the belt. So from hode to netsock to hode to netsock to hode. Okay. So then we have the heart, and this is going to be clear pink rose. And from the hips to the heart, we're going to plug it in and build that pyramid. And then from yesod to the heart, we're going to plug that in. If we didn't plug that in the briah, just remember to plug it into that higher self number 2 also. Okay. So you have that pyramid with that 5th element plugging into the heart. And then we have Geburah and Hesed at the shoulders. So Geburah is going to be at the front left and the back right, and those are going to be orange. And then Hesed is going to be at the front of the right and the back of the left, and that's going to be deep violet. Now we're going to plug in from the heart to the shoulders, that upside down pyramid. That's putting on the t-shirt or the shirt. And then we're going to put on the necklace. So we're going to go from shoulder to shoulder to shoulder to shoulder. The orange to the deep violet, to the orange to the deep violet, to the orange again, clockwise. And then we're going to do the suspenders. So Geburah is going to connect with hode. So that violet purple is going to connect to the orange spheres. And the amber at netsock is going to connect into the deep violet. So those are suspenders. So we're good. And now we have dot. And dot is space gray. It's different than stony gray. Stony space gray. This is space gray. It's higher on the tree. So take a deep breath. It really helps when you're looking at the colors on the diagrams on my website. I will make sure that everything is cleaned up so you can have a really good format to look at. All right, so space gray is at the throat. Now, We're going to plug in the shoulders to the throat at dot. And then we're going to go from the heart to dot. All right. Now we have Bina and Hokma at the temples. Bina is crimson. So that's going to be the front left on this one and the back right. And Hokma is soft pearl blue. Pure soft blue. And that's going to be at the front of the right and the back of the left. Might have some clearing work coming out of you as you line to a higher spiritual tree. All right. So now let's plug in the throat to the temples. Just remember, whichever ones you don't like is probably where it needs the work the most. And then do the shoulders to the temples. This is the neck brace. I'm having a lot of clearing happening right now. Then we're going to go from, so the oranges connect to the crimsons and the deep violets connect to the pearl soft blues, pure soft blues. Then we're going to do the halo. So the crimson to the soft blue, to the crimson to the soft blue, to the crimson again, clockwise. And then we're going to go from the heart to the dot, and dot to the crown. Dot's the throat. And then the crown is brilliant, pure white brilliance. Pure brilliance. And then we're going to go from the temples to the crown. We're going to plug into that third eye, pituitary, and the pineal. And then we're going to plug in the heart to the temples so we don't forget. We're going to take those wires up through the crown and send them up into space to find more trees and more pearls. And we're going to pull those down. And we're going to send them to find more and more and more with multiple iterations, up and up and up. Always seeking new intelligence, always seeking for help, always seeking for new growth. So that we look less like spiritual seekers and spiritual finders instead, because we just bring it to our being with our tentacles. Okay, so now we send that new energy down the spine, through the brain stem of higher self number 3, through the cervical vertebrae of higher self number 3, so 7 of them, through the thoracic, 12 or 14. I'm hearing even the angel template, one of the angel templates has 14 vertebrae. And then through the lumbar, 5. And the sacrum bone, another 5 bones. And through the coccyx, 4. And then through the tail. And then plug that into higher self number 2 and send it all the way down to higher self number 2. And then plug it into higher self number 1 and send it through all the vertebrae in higher self number 1. And then all the way down to our physical body in Asaya. All the way down our spine. If you want to take the time to say all the different vertebrae, you can. All the way down your legs and tail until you can connect with your lower self beneath you in Aya. We're not going to build Aya, but it's the skeleton is built, so we just plug it into Aya and then plug it into O and build the skeleton of O. We're not going to color them. We just plug in the intelligence and set the intention. And then we remember to set a higher self number 4 on top, and we're going to do a quick intention skeleton there, and we're going to do a quick extra 2 skeletons below us in uh-oh and in okno or oko. Okay, so the lower worlds 3 and 4. And then we send those wires into those, and we're gonna feel grounded, and we're gonna plug into Earth Star of Earth Star of Earth Star and into the core of the Earth. And we're gonna start to feel whole. And maybe our neurological system is overwired and overfired, but we're burning new connections into our body and our etheric space. And we do what we can, and then what we can do tomorrow or the next day might be much greater. Just like working out. I used to do cardio bar, and I used to say it was like a death every time I did it. I felt like I was doing it till I was dying, and I got in the best shape of my life. We're doing that spiritually and energetically with this work. Okay, do you feel good? Yeah, this is you should feel physically tired. So we're gonna do the egg part. That will be part 3, and we'll do that in a few days. If you're doing this daily by watching the videos, you can do it 1 a day, or you can do it all in 1 day, or however you need to do it. All right, that's it. What, to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel? Click the button. No, I don't say stuff like that. I say, come study and take Kabbalah with me. This is a lifetime journey, and there's so much on the planet that needs to get done. All right, that's it. Bye. All right, bye.